In the early 1900s, Nickelodeon theaters created millionaires almost overnight. Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we are heading over to Connecticut to uncover the story of Marion Castle. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1869, Frank Marion was born in rural Pennsylvania and came of age just as motion pictures were emerging. After graduating from Syracuse University in 1890, he found his way into the nascent film industry, working at Biograph Studios, one of America's first movie studios. By 1907, Marion seized an opportunity to start his own production company with two partners, George Klein and Samuel Long, which they named Kalem Company. Marion, with his marketing savvy and industry experience, helped Kalem churn out one-reel film dramas and comedies that thrilled audiences in Nickelodeon theaters across the country. These one-reelers, short silent films often just a few minutes long, were hugely popular at the time, and Kalem quickly became one of the leading studios of the silent era. From the start, Frank proved to be an innovator in the movie business. Kalem joined Thomas Edison's Motion Picture Patents Company, the era's powerful film trust, and Marion used his salesmanship to expand Kalem's reach. Unwilling to slow down during cold New York winters, Kalem was among the first studios to establish winter production in warmer climates like Florida and later California. Even more trailblazing, Marion took film crews abroad, literally shooting on location overseas, which was unheard of in that era. In 1910, he sent a team led by director Sidney Olcott to Ireland, making Kalem the first US studio to film outside the United States. Under Marion's leadership, Kalem Company racked up numerous first-in hits. The studio produced over 1,000 silent pictures in genres ranging from melodrama to early action serials. It launched the careers of major silent film stars like Alice Joyce and employed one of the era's most notable female screenwriters and actresses, Jean Gaultier. By the mid-1910s, Kalem's ventures from overseas shoots to serial cliffhangers had made Frank Marion a very wealthy man. After 10 years in business, in 1917, he and his partner sold the Kalem Company to the Vitagraph studio, and Marion himself briefly joined Vitagraph's management team. But that was just a brief moment in his career. He was ready to retire from the frenetic film world, and he had grand plans for enjoying the fruits of his labor. With the proceeds of his cinema success, Frank set out to build a dream home for his family, a home so elegant that locals would soon call it Marion Castle. In 1914, construction began on this mansion in the upscale Shipman Point neighborhood of Stamford, Connecticut. Marion chose the prominent New York architectural firm of Hunt and Hunt, the sons of famed Gilded Age architect Richard Morris Hunt, to design his residence in the château-esque style. Completed by 1916, the estate was christened Terre Bonne, French for good earth, reflecting perhaps the good fortune that built it. Marion's castle's architecture is nothing short of breathtaking. The mansion rises 4.5 stories tall, constructed of stucco-clad masonry on a steel frame, with asymmetrical wings and even a turret that lends it a castle-like profile. Its steeply pitched slate roof is punctuated by fanciful gabled dormers, and along the roofline run ornate copper crustings and gutters that gleam in the sun. Surrounding the castle, Frank Marion landscaped an idyllic retreat. Originally, the estate spanned 4.5 acres sweeping down the shoreline, complete with formal gardens and lawns, edged by stone balustrade. To start our tour, we'll see the house as it originally appeared, keeping in mind that we'll circle back around a bit later to explore it in a more recent period. To enter the mansion, we'll swing open the door and step into the entrance hall on the ground level, where curiously, we only find one public room, with the rest of the rooms being up on the first floor in the spirit of true European fashion. At the end of this hall, we find the ballroom, soaring 2 stories tall with balconies overlooking it from the floor above. While this might be a grand first impression, let's head on up there to see what other grand spaces await us. To do so, we'll make our way back down the hall and hook a left to find the grand staircase ascending below a series of stone-clad archways. This is a good place for us to stop and reorient ourselves, noting that we are emerging right here in the center of the house. Directly in front of us is the living room, finished out with an intricate plaster frieze, parquet wood floors, and diamond pane windows on 3 sides. This room flows into the dining room as we start to make a circle around the central stair hall. Then as we proceed a bit further, rounding out to the upper side of the ballroom, we find the library with a low-hung plaster ceiling and half-height bookshelves skirting the room. Frank Marion lived out his days in Stamford, passing away in 1963 at 93 years old. Marion Castle stayed in the family until that same year, but the property's story continued with new chapters thereafter. Over the following decades, Marion Castle changed hands several times, with each subsequent owner meticulously maintaining and preserving the mansion, even earning it a designation on the National Register of Historic Places. This designation not only honors the architectural significance of Hunt and Hunt's French chateau design, but also cements the home's connection to Frank J Marion's cultural legacy. Thanks to these preservation-minded owners, Marion Castle was protected from drastic alteration or demolition during a time when many old mansions were being lost. In the end, Frank Marion's life intertwined show business and architectural beauty in a unique way. Over 100 years later, his beloved Terre Bonne still gazes out over Long Island Sound, much as Frank himself might have from its balconies, enjoying the fruits of his labor. The castle remains a monument in stone to a silent film pioneer, inviting us to remember a time when imagination, on screen and in life, knew no bounds. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about Marion Castle? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.